My name is Carina Gardner, and I'm what you would call a practical designer. If you're ready to create a life that you love, become an incredible force for good, and generate income while pursuing your dreams, this is the podcast for you. Welcome to Make and Design.
Hi, designers. Today I want to talk about the magic and inspiration of the season. So, Christmas is well upon us, and at this point in time, I am done with my Christmas shopping and I'm feeling like that piece is done. My Christmas tree is up. I feel great about that. It's now kind of more of the time period where I'm trying to get my kids through their finals and starting to think about my oldest daughter is going to be leaving us for school for the first time ever. She's finished her associates and she's moving on to finish her bachelor's degree. And it's just an interesting time period because things are going to change. And while everything changes all the time, it feels like we're now in a period where there is a lot of changes. And I was thinking about the magic of the season and how it does feel very busy. There's definitely a certain amount of stress, but also how much inspiration there is in the season for designers in particular. And so I wanted to point this out to you because at the time of recording this, we recently finished going to a wedding, and this was my youngest sister's wedding. So there's an 11-year age gap between myself and my sister. I am the oldest of 6 kids. She is the youngest. And she married this wonderful, wonderful guy who is Indian. So they had an Indian wedding. And my oldest daughter, who's about to be leaving for school, has a fairly bad noise stimulus. She's autistic and she gets overwhelmed by groups very easily. And so she wasn't even sure she wanted to come to this wedding. And I convinced her to come because I just knew that she really loves this aunt. And I just thought it would be a great way to reconnect. So she did come. We brought, our headphones. We brought, all the things to make sure we were good. But the day before we left, because she was starting to feel very anxious about it, I said to her, hey, why don't you think about this as an amazing inspiration experiment for your animations? So she's an animator and finished her associate's degree in animation and is now going on to hopefully get a degree in animation for her bachelor's degree. She'll see if she gets in. If she doesn't, then we'll keep working towards whatever she wants to work towards. And so I said, what if you think of this, instead of being anxious about it, think of this as a way to be really inspired by the way people move, by the textures and patterns everywhere, because it's going to be really bright, bold colors. And that same day, my little sister had sent me, she had sat in 5 hours of getting henna done on her arms. And so she sat in 5 hours of that, and my mom had sent this picture of her and all these beautiful orange ornate pillows behind her and bright pink pillows underneath her. And she was wearing something fabulous as well. And I showed this picture to my daughter, and she was immediately like, her countenance changed and was like, that's a great idea, Mom. And I think very often we go into experiences just thinking about them as they are versus coming at them almost like from the challenging point of view of like, if I had to design something or create something from this experience, what would I get out of it? What would I see? Because often we don't see all the little tiny intricate details that happen at something like this. And by the way, there is a YouTube video on this wedding. So if you want to go to youtube.com/Carina Gardner, I did create a YouTube video because there was so much design inspiration at this event, not just the Indian wedding, but the Hayes mansion where we stayed. And so I tried to get video of all of that for you guys. And so it was so fascinating because she went from being very anxious to being like, I'm going to bring my sketchbook and I'm going to have pencils and I'm so excited to figure out all the things and find all the inspirations for my next animation. And I felt like that was it's so interesting when we change our minds from something we have to do to a place of curiosity or education or learning, how we totally make a huge change in our life. Like we suddenly are like, wait, I'm going to view this experience as something that could benefit me, not just something that I have to do. And I will tell you, the amount of inspiration I personally got from that event. Every sari had like amazing textures on it, different interesting patterns on it. So it was the clothing, and everybody wore different clothing, by the way, for every single event, which was insane. My sister's outfits for this wedding were kind of unbelievable in my mind. Like the first night was like this amazing sequence masterpiece, heavy, very heavily. In fact, my sisters and I were all laughing because there were 4 sisters there, laughing because we were calling it a deadly weapon, because like my sister Yanni had gotten henna done on her arm just recently, and her it's kind of clumpy, and it like ripped it off of her hand, like the stress, because it was so crazy beaded in such a fabulous way. So many patterns on the wallpaper on the walls at this place we stayed. So many patterns in all of the ornate lamps and decorations and the cloths and the pillows. It was a feast of seeing all of these colors together, see how beautiful they were, all these patterns. I got so much inspiration from it. And I'm going to invite you that this season can be just like that. Instead of the dread of how busy it is or how hard it is or how messy your house is, which I promise you my hands raised in the messy house department, and trying to get dinner on the table every night, especially when we're running to orchestra events and kid parties and all the things, to instead maybe make the little switch of thinking of it as inspiration. Like it's magical, but it's also inspiring. And there's something here to be learned. There's something here that could be brought into your design life, your work life, that would make it a little more fulfilling, a little more interesting. And I want to challenge you to spend the rest of this season kind of looking for those things, those meaningful things, to help you continue to fulfill yourself in this design journey. So I hope that you get to do that and keep going. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful Christmas season, or if you celebrate something else, having a wonderful holiday season, and getting together with family and friends.
Did you know you have access to more free design content, die cut files, and sewing patterns? Join our exclusive VIP group for free by going to designsweetcourses.com/free.